Good evening and welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another night of UEFA Champions League football as we follow updates from the Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund game, as well as the game between Barcelona and Club Brugge, or they are from Belgium. That game is already 1-1. The Barcelona game, the host side found themselves in a quick lead, but Barcelona were able to restore parity through Ferran Torres quite quickly, combining, I think, with Fermin Lopez there to make sure that they were not behind for long. In the game for Manchester City against Dortmund, Man City are still searching their breakthrough in that game, and yet Newcastle already have a goal against Athletic Bilbao. So, yeah, indulge me as we go through, as we follow tonight's action from the UEFA Champions League, pretty much earlier than how we went through it last night. So please stay with us as we follow those updates from the respective games. We'll endeavor to, to touch base to bring you the latest updates from multiple games in terms of scores, but our primary focus is going to be on that Manchester City and Dortmund game, and then, of course, that one of Barcelona versus Club Brugge there as we go through tonight's action. Yeah, so very, very entertaining stuff already. Like I've said, the Barcelona game has been off to a quick start. Manchester City already beyond a quarter an hour into the game are trying to find their footing into the game, but allow me have our audios tested and make sure everything does check out for the purposes of this broadcast. For those of you that managed to join the morning broadcast, thank you so much for being part of that conversation there, as we did review some of the action from the UEFA Champions League from Tuesday night and much more, where we had very, very spectacular performances from teams like Liverpool on the night, from teams like Arsenal. Of course, disappointing results for the likes of Napoli, for the likes of PSG, but a good performance from Bayern Munich as well. Yeah, among other, Tottenham Hotspurs were quite electric, despite being a man less through following Brennan Johnson's red card in that game. So they managed to be the better side, including Richarlison missing out on a penalty that he hit in the crossbar that came moments after he had, his first attempt on goal had hit the crossbar again. So very, very beautiful game of football for Tottenham Hotspurs against Copenhagen. Of course, following Brennan Johnson's red card, it was, I think, Xavi Simons that was sacrificed, so much so to his anguish and detriment in as far as that game was concerned. Anyway, I'll see how to go about that. Anyways, so yeah, that's what did transpire in as far as that activity was concerned on the night. So yeah, we're going to be keeping tabs on that action and much, much more. Wow. Okay. Where is that feed? It should be with us in just a bit. Yes, right here. Apologies, trying to readjust, our updates so that we're not too far off, Like I often say, if you do find that my feed is slightly, a couple of minutes or seconds behind yours, not minutes, but a minute or seconds behind yours, please indulge with me. That's something to do with bandwidth. So Dan Ban scored to put Newcastle in the lead, but Marseille and Atalanta, that game is still goalless, as is the case with Manchester City and Dortmund. Inter Milan and Kairati Almaty still goalless. Bayer Leverkusen and Benfica still goalless, as is Ajax and Galatasaray. In the earlier games, Pafos, I think, surprised many when they beat up against Villarreal by a goal to nil. And then Lacassin the goal scorer. And then Chelsea were held to a 2-2 draw by Quarterback. There, Estevao opening the scoring for Chelsea, and then Garnacho scoring the equalizer in a game that they had gone behind thanks to Jankovic's penalty that was a result of Jorel Hato's handball in the forbidden area, while Andrade had scored to restore parity in earlier on in that game. So it finished 2-2 between Chelsea and Quarterback. Once again, Chelsea giving you a bit of a lesser performance compared to what they did against Tottenham Hotspur. And I don't know, it's become so typical of Chelsea to sort of pick and choose how they go about certain games and the kind of energy that they carry into them, and it's not really working for them. Meanwhile, Club Rouge into the lead against Barcelona. It's now 2-1 in favor of the home side. Hansi Flick is going to be furious with these guys. Really, really, really furious. Oh, I need to so update this. That's too far back, too far off. Let's see if we can get a better feed for that one. We really trying, but some of our feeds get jumbled. Really, come on, we can do better than that. Anyway, let's keep it at that. But yeah, that Barcelona game is already into the 23rd minute, as that of Manchester City is equally in the 23rd minute. Wow, what a beautiful goal that Club Brugge scored on the counter, and they hit the back of the net. I mean, Wojciech Szczesny couldn't do much about that. But it's also typical of how Barcelona oftentimes leave themselves exposed in such moments, how they commit so many numbers forward, and if you do catch them on the break, on the counter, you are likely to get in behind them. And Manchester City are in the lead as well, thanks to Phil Foden's brilliant strike from outside the area. Beautiful goal. So 1-0 to Manchester City. Borussia Dortmund have never won a game against Pep Guardiola when he was in the German Bundesliga, and ever since he's met them on numerous occasions while at Manchester City. So, yeah, 1-0 Manchester City. Phil Foden, the goal scorer in that game. So, oh, come on. That goal, that second goal for Club Brugge against Barcelona is a quick interplay. Tijan Reinders provided the assist. But I mean, he makes that look so simple. He strikes the ball quite from about, 22 yards or thereabout, and he hits the back of the net, Phil Foden. But for the Club Brugge goal, I was saying, couple of 1, 2, 3 passes, a beautiful interplay between those Club Brugge players, and the ball hit the back of the net. They finished off that chance quite effortlessly well. Very commendable stuff really on the night from them. I don't know, I need to confirm something. What's really happening on here? Okay. Deflected. Doku. Jeremy Doku. Doku. Is that going to be a penalty? There was a dangerous foul by the goalkeeper on a Manchester City player who is hit the floor And the referee said, play on. It's a foul on Tijan Reinders. Referee said it's not a head injury, so carry on. Player has been brought to a halt eventually. Looks like he fell badly on his shoulder. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the goalkeeper gets to the ball. I don't think it's going to be given as a foul. Yeah, Tijan Reinders gets to the ball fast. As it, gets a kick on it, the goalkeeper puts his double hands to it, and yeah, there's not more action needed by the referee on that. Fair play, not the kind of moments both players would have wanted to be involved in, but it was what it was. It was what it was. So yeah, those are the results as at the moment. There's still no other goal from the respective games. I will be letting you know if that changes in the course of this broadcast. So yeah. Wow, when was the last time I saw Pep Guardiola putting on a coat, or what Americans prefer to call a jacket? It's been a while. He's normally a guy of sweaters and stuff, sweaters and maybe a raincoat, a jacket, something like that. Borussia Dortmund are living dangerously. Savinho lays in a brilliant cross in the box, but could not find a target in the area, and then Borussia Dortmund clear. I think we will be looking at what their starting 11s look like. 5 attempts on target for Manchester City, 5 attempts on goal for Manchester City, 3 on target. Dortmund have only had 1, and it was off target. So you can clearly tell where the dominancy does lie in that game. Bash, hi Bash, Bash kind ho, something like that. Hi Bash, where are you joining us from on this beautiful night? It's a pleasure to have you. Kindly like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel. If you're new here, do let me know where you're joining us from. Are you a football fan? If you are, what team do you support? Are you following any game? Apologies if I've mispronounced your name. Apologies if I've mispronounced your name. Bash, I think, allow me just shorten it to Bash. Maybe that one is simpler for me to pronounce, but do let me know where you're joining us from. Where are you joining us from, my brother, on this beautiful Wednesday night? It's 28 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. here in Kampala, Uganda, where I do come to you live from in the eastern part of Africa, in case you're wondering. Wow, what a brilliant save from the Dortmund goalkeeper. Who was that? Nico O'Reilly almost doubled Manchester City's lead. Almost double. Like Basha. Okay. Basha. Like Basha. Okay. Wow. Quite a brilliant save. Brought Erling Haaland trying to set up Nico O'Reilly right at the penalty spot. But his attempt is saved by the Dortmund goalkeeper. So close for Manchester City to almost double their lead in that game. He did score over the weekend against AFC Bournemouth. He made it 3-1 at the time when he scored Nico O'Reilly. So Dortmund are really pinged back into their own area and are struggling to break through. Another save from the Dortmund goalkeeper. How many times is he going to have to rescue his team? I mean, it is his job. It's 2-0. Brad Erling Haaland scores against his former bosses. Beautiful interplay. I mean, they look so vulnerable to every attack that comes their way, Borussia Dortmund. There's so many spaces within that back line. Man City is creating chance after chance. And this is Manchester City clicking into gear. Forget the blip they had against Aston Villa a fortnight ago. Almost a fortnight ago. Forget that. Over the weekend, they beat up against Bournemouth by 3-1. Now they are here handing it to Borussia Dortmund, and on the weekend they will be playing away to Anfield, where they've not won in the last two league outings, possibly even three. I stand to be corrected, because last season Liverpool beat them home and away, while the season before that, both games ended in 1-1 draw. So that's their opponent. Again, the layback is by Jeremy Doku at the penalty spot kind of area, and he blasts that into the back of the net. He was never going to miss in that area. Niko Kovac can't believe what he's watching. He can't believe his side are being so shambolic in how they are defending, in how they're conceding possession in dangerous areas. Here they come, Manchester City. This opportunity cut out. Dortmund are struggling, are really, really struggling to break out of their own area. They are struggling to break out of their own half. Manchester City has them really, really pinned back in. Only 7 minutes separate the Phil Foden goal and that of Brad Erling Haaland. So it clearly tells you how Manchester City are going about this game. I think they are looking to wrap it up as quickly as possible, and then make changes and reserve some bit of energy for their Sunday trip to Anfield in the Premier League, because remember they are second on the Premier League table with 19 points, while Liverpool are third on the Premier League table with 18 points. Whoever wins that game will either keep or move second. City's fan, me, 2-0 to you. A Manchester City fan, Basha, wow, congratulations to you. City is playing some really, really incredible football, putting many, many smiles on their fans as we speak. Beautiful game of football they're playing. They've been really, really dominant in the opening half an hour. Really, Dortmund are really, really struggling. Really, really struggling. They are really. Basha, if you don't mind, do let us know where you're joining us from. What country are you following the game from? Oh, that was a dangerous tackle on Jeremy Doku by Greece. Oh, it's a high foot, the kind that can be reviewed. I don't know if it's a clear and obvious error that the referee should be called to the monitor, but if the referee had onside given it as a red card, I do not think many people would argue against it. It looked dangerous, less dangerous of the impact, but of sort of the intent and the kind of highness of the boot. He's lucky to get away with that one, really. He's really, really lucky to get away with that one. He's really lucky to get away with that one. Meanwhile, Barcelona are trying to find the equalizer in their game against Club Brugge. We're into the 34th minute of that game, and Barcelona are trying to find their way back in. Doku, Phil Foden, beautiful game. Tijan Reinders combining well with Phil Foden and Savinho. They're just having a good game. Another brilliant save from the Dortmund goalkeeper. I mean, this kind of performance reminds me of what Thibaut Courtois had last night against Liverpool. It's save after save. The only difference is that Manchester City have twice found the breakthrough, and this time around it was Tijan Reinders testing the Dortmund goalkeeper, and it remains 2-0. It remains 2-0, but they're really, really lucky. On another night it would be already 4-0, possibly, or maybe even 5. That's how poor. Oh, come on, that's an overplayed pass. That's an overweight pass from Greece. But wow! So I was saying that the performances are from this Dortmund goalkeeper remind me of the kind of performance that Thibaut Courtois had last night against Liverpool. It was save after save, but very unfortunate that they ended up losing. The goalkeeper is Gregor Kobel, the Dortmund goalkeeper. They are playing with a back three and wing backs, and it's not really working out. Grisa is leading up the lines. Karim Adeyemi, Maximilian Beyer. I think this is a game that would need the seniority of a player like Julian Brandit. I don't know if he's even on the bench. Hopefully, doesn't look to be the case. Joe Bellingham is on the bench. Kanare Chukwuemeka, Emre Can, Fabio Silva, among others. Basha says from Mogadishu Airport in Somalia. Wow. I hope I read that correctly. So you're from Somalia. I'm from Kampala, Uganda. We are neighbors, not too close neighbors, but neighbors, within the space of the East African cohort. I know you're from the Horn of Africa. But yeah, so for those of you that are just joining us, do not forget to like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel. If you're new here, Robert Kesakos is my name. Need to adjust this. I think it's to do with the tripod position. Trying to get the rule of thirds correctly, not to have a very imbalanced image. But yeah, you're not missing much. Barcelona still struggling to find a way through, to find that equalizer against Club Brugge. Still struggling. Inter Milan still goalless with Kairati Almaty. Benfica Bayer Leverkusen still goalless, as is Ajax. From Uganda, yes, I'm from Kampala, Uganda, just around the corner. Ajax Galatasaray still goalless. Newcastle still have their 1-0 against Athletic Bilbao. And then Olympic Marseille and Atalanta is still goalless. Spanish teams, I do not know, struggle to beat up against England teams. Or Spanish La Liga teams struggle to beat up against, Premier League teams. We saw that last season when Manchester United met Athletic Bilbao in the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa League. They beat them home and away. We saw it between Arsenal and Real Madrid at the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. We've seen it this season. Arsenal has met two opponents from Spain. That was Athletic Bilbao at away that's at San Mamés, and then of course they met Atletico de Madrid as well in the UEFA Champions League and lost. Arsenal won both games. So wow, beautiful ball that Brad Erling Haaland was laying in to try and find his teammate at the back post. I think, let me see, who was he trying to find? Was it Nick O'Reilly? I think Nico O'Reilly was the player he was trying to get to, but just did not get that one right. The ball was intercepted, and it's a corner kick for Manchester City. Frankie de Jong, a bit of a nasty challenge in that Barcelona game. Jules Koundé had an attempt that brushed off, I think, the crossbar as Barcelona tried to find the way back. Wow. He did rattle the crossbar indeed. He did rattle the crossbar at Jules Koundé. But it's still 2-1 in favor of the home side. Karim Adeyemi. Can he find the way through? Oof, beautiful attempt. But finally, Gianluigi Donnarumma has been tested by Karim Adeyemi, but he managed to save that attempt. We've not seen many moments from Borussia Dortmund in this opening half like that. They've struggled to break through. And that was City are defending really, really deep. They're really, really defending deep. Like they have 10 men behind the ball. Once they're sort of pressed back, they have 10 men behind the ball. Sorry, they have 9. 9, 5, 4, and then with Haaland sort of staying a little bit ahead, perhaps to wait if they win that ball back, let them play him in, go on a quick counter, something like similar to what they did against Bournemouth over the weekend. But yeah, Dortmund are still trying to find a way through. They've not yet been successful. Beautiful strike from Karim Adeyemi. Donnarumma puts his strong hand to it. My friends, Ugandan army, My friends, Uganda army in the airport. Okay, the Ugandan army who are there, I think, on behalf of AMISOM. Are your friends at the airport? I know they've been. We've had the Ugandan army in Somalia for quite a number of years, helping with some peacekeeping work there. Bye, bro. See you again. Always a pleasure, Basha. We're always here every single night at 11 p.m. as well as in the morning at 9 a.m. So, in case you have time, do not miss to catch us, or you just need to turn your notifications on, and you'll be notified whenever we do come live. Otherwise, thank you so much for being part of tonight's broadcast. Barcelona. Thought he was going to get caught in possession there. Manchester City being clumsy. Karim Adeyemi came close to pulling one back for Dortmund, but I think it was Joško Vardiol who put his foot in the way. Forgot to add some water to my cup to keep me company during the course of this broadcast. Maybe we'll look to correct that at halftime. Possibly. You'll indulge me. I'll step out for a second. Oh, beautiful turn. Beautiful turn, poor pass. Savinho. Leaving his head high, trying to find a teammate. But Erling Haaland. That was right on the money, shooting from outside the area. But Kobel was there to save Gregor Kobel. The Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper was there to save that one. They went long trying to find Girisha, but they couldn't. And yeah, they couldn't. And it ended up being a gift for Gianluigi Donnarumma. Oh, no. That feet is behind. Can't be watching a moment. It was 1 minute ago. Manchester City have a rich bench. Ryan Cherki, Ryan Atnori, Omar Mamouche, some of those players waiting on the bench to see if they will get a sniff of tonight's action. We're into the final minutes of the opening stanza. Most of these games are into added time of the first half. Inter Milan finally have a lead against Kairati Almaty. We see that goal, who scored. Let's find out in just a bit. In just a bit. Uh-oh. Wow, Kobel with a nice, decent piece of defending, literally clearing the lines before Brad Erling Haaland got to that. Still trying to find the... Yes, Lautaro Martinez in the 45th minute is the goal scorer for Inter Milan. How many times have we seen Kobel come to the rescue of this, Borussia Dortmund side during the course of this opening half, really? A great deal of many times. I know it's his job, but his defense should be doing better, to sort of step in for him there. But they've done a very, very shitty job in as far as their defending is concerned. Nico Gonzalez. Thurston is once again playing at right back. Greece are trying to be adventurous from distance, but he blazes that over the bar. Yep, referee sends us into halftime. Newcastle still leading by goal to nil. Olympic Marseille 0-0 against Atlanta. 2-0 for Manchester City. Goal scored by Phil Foden and Brad Erling Haaland. Going into halftime, and then Inter Milan, Lautaro Martinez's Lautaro Martinez's goal remains the difference in that game. Benfica and Bayer Leverkusen still goalless. Ajax and Galatasaray is still goalless, while Barcelona do find themselves 2-1 behind against Club Rouge. That's what's happening so far. I think you'll allow me collect a cup of water to keep us company. Do excuse me. Let's, as we also readjust into halftime. Oh, yes, we're back. Yeah, was meant to be short moment away. But yeah, thought it was a very, very beautiful first half there from Manchester City. Thought they applied themselves really, really well. You know, let's adjust our screen brightness. I thought they really, really applied themselves well. Looking at their starting 11, Manchester City have Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal. Forgive my rush of the tongue there. Gianluigi Donnarumma, Matas Nunes, John Stones, Josko Vardiol, Nico O'Reilly at left back. They have Nico Gonzalez in that midfield, and ahead of them is the pair of Tijan Reinders and Phil Foden. To the sides, you have Savinho, Jeremy Doku, and Brad Erling Haaland. On the side of Borussia Dortmund, they do have Gregor Kobel. They have Nico Schlotterbeck. They have they have Anton. They have Remy. They have Marcel Sabitzer in that midfield. Felix Numeka, Julian Rayson, Daniel Swanson. They have Maximilian Bear, Karim Adeyemi, and Grisa there leading the lines. Manchester City have a very, very strong bench there with Omar Mamush, Oscar Bob, Bernardo Silva, Ryan Cheki, Rico Lewis, Akushanov, Ryan Atnori, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz, and Marcus Bentinelli, as well as James Trafford. Those are two goalkeepers. Now, this is the thing about Manchester City, and I did mention about this at the start of the season, that they do have a very, very decent squad when you look at it overall. Yes, they remain a team in transition, but they have a very, very decent squad. You look at the starting 11, and you have Brian Atnori, a starter, on the bench. You have Bernardo Silva, the captain, on the bench, because today it's Brad Erling Haaland wearing the armband. You have Omar Mamush, you have Ryan Cheki, you have Kushanov, you have Nathan Ake, you have Ruben Diaz, so all those are players there. I think energy is being saved to take on Liverpool over the weekend. Liverpool have clicked into the right gear, and so have Manchester City at the right time to face off with each other at Anfield come this weekend on Super Sunday before we break off for the international break. Uh-oh. I think I'll need a better feed for the Barcelona game. The kind of feed that I've had in the first half has been very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. But like I said, like I was saying, Manchester City have done everything right. Dortmund have hardly defended. When you look at the number of times they had to be rescued by the goalkeeper, that is what tells you how poor they have been at their defensive duties. When you look at the halftime statistics, 7 shots on target for Manchester City, 2 goals. Of course, that means as many as 5 saves, actually 6 saves for Kobel, and then only 1 shot on target for excuse me. They've only had 1 shot on target from Borussia Dortmund. That was by Karim Adeyemi. There are 2 shots off targets. Greece, one of those came from Grisa, and Manchester City have only had 3 shots off targets. In terms of ball possession, Manchester City have dominated the ball to the tune of 52% compared to Dortmund is 48%, but that 48% doesn't show anywhere. Once again, it's another set piece goal for Newcastle. Ball gets floated in. Dunban runs to it. I'd want to suspect it was, I don't know who floats in the ball, but Dunban running at the back post heads that into the back of the net to make it 2-1. Hello to you too, Team Barca. Newcastle have won two of their opening 3 games. Their only loss coming against Barcelona on match day 1, so which is fairly excusable. And now they are leading by goal to nil at halftime against Athletic Bilbao. Man City 2-0. In that lead, very, very comfortable in the game. They could have scored more. It could have been 4. It could have been 5 had it not been for Kobel. On the side of Barcelona, I think Barcelona have not been at their best so far in this game. Let's first see the goal from Lautaro Martinez. Bit of a scrappy one, but he will take it. Bit of a scrappy one. There's block after block until he gets to beat the Kairati Almaty goalkeeper. By the way, there's something I wanted to mention. Many of the teams that we thought were going to be underdogs, teams that are not, vastly known within the ranks of European football, have given teams a headache. For example, Qarabağ, I think on match day 1, beat up against Benfica by 3-2. They came from 2 goals down. And then, while at that, you've seen teams like Kairati Almaty put in quite, decent performances. You've seen Qarabağ against Chelsea. That's a 2-2 draw, and now we're seeing when you take a look at that table. Of course, it's Ajax at the bottom. Kairati Almaty down there. Copenhagen, Benfica, Villarreal. All the teams I'm mentioning only have 1 point so far this season. 1 point. I told you that Villarreal got beat up by Paphos by 1-0, in today's evening's fixture. Now, Paphos, one of those teams that you you look at as an underdog. They are in 20th position. Of course, they would need to play then the playoff if they do finish in that sort of role. But, teams like Juventus are as low as 25th, as low as 25th. So, and remember, only teams that are taken are teams that finish between 9th place and 24th place. Those are the teams that get to play the playoff to determine the 8 that do join the other cohort of the top 8 to form the round of 16. So, a team like, those kinds of teams have been surprisingly good. Paphos, Qarabağ have really, really taken note of those 2 teams. If Newcastle do win their fixture as things stand, they will move to 9 points. If Manchester City win as they look destined to be, they are going to 4th place. We know that Bayern Munich are leading the tally with 12 points, as well as the 2nd place Arsenal with 12 points. We have 2 teams in this season as UEFA Champions League that are yet to concede a goal. That's Inter Milan and Arsenal. Inter Milan are in action against Kairati Almaty, who are 2nd from bottom. Now, the thing about Kairati Almaty is that they play good football on the eyes. Hi LFC, good to have you back. Always a pleasure to see you around. I hope you've had a wonderful day. It's clocking midnight on the side of the aisle. That means it's about 9 p.m. UK time. So it's a pleasure to have you around. So, and then which other team that I thought teams like Olympique Marseille, I would have hoped they would be performing much better than they are currently. Teams like Napoli, and it's not really happening for them. Athletic Bilbao, I did not expect them to be this low on the league format standings. Then you look at Villarreal. Villarreal is one of those teams that had a very, very decent squad, in as far as those what you often refer to as the mid-table teams, the upper middle table teams go. A squad that has the likes of Ayoze Perez, Nicolas Pepe, Thomas Partey, some of those really, really are brilliant players that they do have within their ranks. And yet things are not happening for them in as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. So as far as we are concerned, I think, let's see, it will be 9 to 16th. And then from there on. So teams from 25th and below, that's Juventus, that's Athletic Bilbao, Bayer Leverkusen, Union St. Clovis, Bodo Glimt, Slavia Praha, Olympiacos, Villarreal, Benfica, Copenhagen, Kairat Almaty, and Ajax would all be sent packing if by the end of match day 8 the table standings do not change from what they appear to be. If things do not change from what the table standings appear to be at the moment. I'm having a change of thoughts on what game we should be following in the second half, besides the Manchester City game, because that's our main event for Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund. But anyway, we'll keep it with Barcelona, although the Barcelona feed that I have has been discouraging, to say the least. Has had some lapses that have been quite unexpected on my side, really. Meanwhile, following a clean sheet yesterday for Arsenal, David Raya became the fastest Arsenal goalkeeper to reach 50 clean sheets, which an achievement that he managed to post in 110 games, in 110 games. Meanwhile, there has been another road accident today on the Kampala-Gulu highway with, I think, is it Nile Coach? So let's hope there are no deaths in that one, because in the previous one, it was nasty. We lost as many as 46 people in an accident. Meanwhile, in the Uganda Premier League, NEC did part ways with the coach, that's Hussein Mbalangu, who they had suspended for what they called unprofessionalism, because he went to, participate in the Masaza tournament, and yet he does represent a top-tier side, And then, so now he's been replaced by Kadu Badru Mukasa. So we will keep tabs on that as well. But anyways, the second half gets underway here. So let's get back to it. It's already underway, already in the 47th minute. So yeah, let's return to that action and follow the events as they, transpire from those respective fixtures. Let's hope we won't be far back off for the Barcelona game, because it did us a little bit dirty in the first half, if we are being honest. Another brilliant save from Kobel. This time round, it was Savinho forcing him into a save. But Dortmund are not playing well. They are not defending well. They're not going forward well. Colbert, brilliant save from Colbert on Savinho's attempts. Jules Koundé has been booked in that Barcelona game for pulling player, for pulling his opponent to the floor, dragging him to the floor. And by the way, if Club Rouge go 3-1 up, then Barcelona may find it a very long night, a whole mountain to climb, if they are to crawl their way to victory. Matthias Nunes wanted to go on a solo run, literally close to what Mickey van de Ven did yesterday. By the way, if you missed Tottenham's game, go and watch out for Mickey van de Ven's goal against Copenhagen. It could arguably go down as one of the best goals in the UEFA Champions League this season, if not the very best. He went on a solo run right from the 18 yards box, his own 18 yards box, and squad on the other end. It was really, really beautiful to watch. Really, really beautiful to watch. For a centre back to make that kind of run, the last time we saw that kind of run, I think you have to go back to, was it 2021? When Son Heung-min, the then Tottenham Hotspur player, made a similar run and scored against Burnley, So, Club Brugge are asking questions, but so far, so good. Wojciech Szczesny has done enough to save. Lamine Yamal has not had a great game so far. He's yet to inspire Barcelona. He's yet to inspire Barcelona. Oh, horrible cross from Jules Koundé. Man City trying to find that third goal, so it's eluding them, but they are getting in the right positions. If any team does look very threatening or threatens to score in the very near future, it's going to be Manchester City in this Dortmund game. And on the other side, it looks like Club Brugge are the ones more threatening, and yet they are the ones in the lead as well, as compared to Barcelona. I wish Pedri was here with us to let us know what his feelings are about this performance from Barcelona so far. I know he would be ranting. He would be ranting. He would be handing people some very unkind words or unbecoming, to say the least. Comes with the frustration of the game, especially when there's a side that you're rooting for to go ahead and win. I think it comes with that kind of territory. Manchester City are looking dangerous. Oh. Brilliant save from the Club Brugge goalkeeper. Barcelona were close to restoring parity. There's a bit of shoulder shrugging. Every time Barcelona concede possession, Niko Kovac works with his brother at Borussia Dortmund. And whatever they are cooking is not working so far. Because Man City have dominated every aspect of this game. Karim Adeyemi. Oh. Josko Vardy put his head to that one. Straight to Donnarumma. Oh, Jeremy Doku dancing through midfield. Finds Tijan Reinders on the break. Savinho. Can he have a better ball this time out? Uh-oh. Haaland with another attempt on goal, literally snatching it off Jeremy Doku's feet. But Kobe was there to the rescue. Shegu Arinze. Oh, Jesus Christ. Need I have to do that? Newcastle have the second and Manchester City have the third. Newcastle, Joelinton, Harvey Barnes providing the assist. Kieran Trippier provided the first assist. But in the 49th minute, Joelinton scores to make it 2-0. While Manchester City through Brad Erling Haaland, City are 3 up. Phil Foden once again 3-0 from distance. Once again makes it 3 to the good. I mean, Dortmund are just sleeping on the job when it comes to defending their goal. Oh, that should have been a free kick. That's a foul. Savinho has no intention of playing the ball when he clatters into a Dortmund player. But a very, very beautiful strike from Phil Foden. Once again, outside of the area, puts it into the bottom corner, just like he did in the first half. But for me, there was a foul in the build-up to this one. Savinho shouldn't be able to get away with that one. That was a clear and obvious foul. He has no intention to play the ball. He goes for the player, puts him out of action before Man City win back possession. Sort of similar to what we saw at that goal, the first goal, I think, for Newcastle against Nottingham Forest. In the build-up to Bruno Guimaraes' goal, I thought there was a foul, and that goal shouldn't have stood. But this one will stand, as they do not consider it a clear and obvious error in this particular, case. Pep Guardiola on the technical bench with Pep Linders, former Jurgen Klopp assistant, discussing the prospects of the game, what they need to do better, what they need to improve. Jesus Christ. Instead of playing the through ball, he turned backwards. Clearly do not want to go up front. They clearly do not want to go in front, Dortmund. They just do not want to find those goals. Olympic Marseille and Atalanta is still goalless. Kairati Almaty have the equalizer against Inter Milan. That goal scored by Arad in the 55th minute of the second half. Benfica by Leverkusen, that's still goalless as well. Manchester City have had 10 attempts on targets compared to Dortmund is 1. That's how dominant they've been. That's how dominant they have been. Do not let their only 3 goals persuade you into thinking that it's been anywhere close to being edgy for Manchester City. Manchester City enjoying all the home advantage and dominancy. Savinho from close range misses on the half volley. Beautiful cross from Phil Foden down the right wing. Actually down the left wing. Barcelona have brought on Robert Lewandowski for Dani Olmo. Ferran Torres, I think, was also withdrawn. Oh, Dani Olmo and Lewandowski coming on for Ferran Torres. And I don't know who else. And Casado, yes, and Casado. Wow, that was close. Dortmund were close to getting to pulling one back, and they are looking to make changes. Emre Can, Job Bellingham, prior to Judy Bellingham, are looking to come on. But those Dortmund fans never go quiet, regardless of the scoreline. And it's one thing I always admire about them. Even when their team is 3 goals down, they still, they will drum those drums. They will drum those drums. Barcelona equalized, and then they went a goal behind. Barcelona found the equalizer, and quickly, in quick succession, they conceded, and it's 3-2. Crazy game of football. Crazy game of football. There's not much you're going to blame Wojciech Szczesny for that. Not really. Their equalizer came through Lamine Yamal in the 61st minute of the game, and in the 64th minute, they go on and concede. Oh, goes with a little dink. Wojciech Szczesny could only watch as that ball hit the back of the net. If I'm being honest, I was so focused on the Man City game, I missed the goal from Lamine Yamal. But, it's not pretty for Barcelona. Ronald Araujo could not believe it. Let's see. Can Dortmund pull one back here? No. Carlos Forbes, on target for Club Brugge. Carlos Forbes, shot number 9. Has had a good game. Donnarumma just did well to deny Giresse. John Stones already on. Manchester City conceding possession in a dangerous area. Put his upper arm to it, and he managed to save it. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Barcelona trying to find the equalizer. Oh, that was close. Uh-oh. Marcel Sabitzer will be withdrawn. Marcel Sabitzer, Grisa will all be withdrawn. Making 4 changes at a goal. Canary Chukwemeka, one of those coming on. Grisa, Ben Sebain, Bia, and Sabitzer. Ben Sebaini, Bellingham, Chan, Chukwemeka, and Pascal Gross are the ones that have come on for Borussia Dortmund. So many changes at a go. I don't know what informed that decision. Wow. Barcelona surviving by whisker to go 4-2 behind. Let's see what the other results are at the moment. Newcastle still leading by 2-0. I told you Joelinton was the goal scorer for that second goal for Newcastle. Atlanta have the breakthrough against Olympique Marseille. They had a goal cancelled out by a penalty missed Atlanta in the 15th minute, and now they've managed to find the breakthrough through Ademola Lookman in the 69th minute. Then Bayer Leverkusen are leading by 0 against Benfica. Patrick Schick, the goal scorer, and then Galatasaray are also 2-0 up against Ajax. Victor Osimhen with both goals. Leroy Sané providing the assist there for the first goal, and then subsequently you have a penalty from the Nigerian striker to make it 2-0 for Galatasaray. Excuse me. We are over the 70th minute mark for many of these games. Inter Milan have the second goal against Almaty. Carlos Augusto on target for Inter Milan. Phil Foden looking for a hat-trick in this one. Will he be able to get it? Tomorrow, the UEFA Europa League and the UEFA Conference League get underway. Another beautiful save from Kobel. Oh, already it's been 1 hour, 14 minutes of the broadcast. Dortmund pull one back. It's 3-1. But I don't think there's anything to be excited about. But fans are really, really happy. Hope he's onside. Could be. He is behind the ball. Gianluigi Donnarumma beaten to the near post, and it's 3-1 there. I think Pep Guardiola needs to make some changes and sort of have some new energy, some fresh energy, and tone the goal scorer there. Bilbao trying to go from distance, but cannot beat Nick Pope in goal. Pep Guardiola is set to make a couple of changes. Ryan Cherki could be one of those coming on. Has an eye for goal. Bernardo Silva as well. Karim Adeyemi with a beautiful cross, but Ryerson could only blaze it over the bar. But it was a beautiful run from Dortmund. Man City trying to play with the high line and almost getting beat. Very big missed chance. Possibly if it goes with the header, maybe it gets to hit the near post. But they missed the opportunity to make it a difficult ending for Man City here. Slightly under a quarter an hour left to play. Johnstone's with a big block for Karim Adeyemi's attempt, but there was an offside in the build-up. Wow. What a cutback. Oh. Does that scrap his arm? I don't think so. Possibly brushes under his thigh. Oh, it's a corner kick, not an offside. It's a corner kick for Dortmund. Nicely floated in. Well headed. Donnarumma saves. Doku concedes possession. Wanted to go on a quick counter. I think this is the best spell that Dortmund have had in this game. And Manchester City, among their introductions, are looking to bring on Ruben Diaz, the defender, to help, fend off all these attacks. Otherwise, Savinho booked here for having very unkind words towards the linesman who he pushed in and accused of blocking. I don't think there was anything intended by the linesman to block Savinho. He was simply keeping track of that ball as he is required. But Jeremy Doku is withdrawn and Savinho withdrawn for Bernardo Silva and Ruben Diaz to try and see this game out for Manchester City. Oh, Atlanta's goal was cancelled out. Still 0-0. VAR cancelled out Ademola Lookman's goal. Meanwhile, Galatasaray are 3 up against Ajax, and it's a hat-trick for Victor Osimhen, both 2 being penalties in that one. Leverkusen still leading Benfica by 0-0. Barcelona have restored parity. It's 3-3. It's 3-3 in that game. But I lost my feed for that Barcelona game. See if I can get it back. I'd moved on to the Newcastle game, but it's 3-3 as we speak. And I don't hesitate to move on. But yeah, it's 3-3 for Barcelona. And now Club Brugge could stand to lose this one if they're not careful. Donnarumma with a decent rescue to Man City. Oh. Ancheki overwent that one. Huge block from Donnarumma. And then another clean sweep. Lamine Yamal has been booked by the referee Anthony Taylor for signaling him to issue a yellow card. Of course, that's against the rules. You do not get to decide who should be booked and shouldn't be. Karim Adeyemi withdrawn. The kind of football that Dortmund are trying to play in these final minutes of the game is the kind of football they should have been playing all night. Come on, mark those players. The kind of intent, the kind of energy that Dortmund have shown in the last 10 minutes of this game, 10, 13 minutes of this game is what they should have been doing from the onset. But it looks like they woke up a little too late, and because they are on the verge of losing this one. We're into the 83rd minute of an 86th minute of most games. Like I told you, Osimhen's hat-trick against Galatasaray is still the difference between Ajax and Galatasaray. Ajax at home, very symbolic team these days. Bayer Leverkusen still leading Benfica by 0-0. That means they will be losing, I think, the third consecutive game. Actually, the fourth consecutive game in the UEFA Champions League. Possibly, stand to be corrected. Because they lost to Chelsea, lost to Newcastle, match day 2 and match day 3 respectively, and they lost to Karabakh. So, yeah, 0 points, as well as Ajax. All right. Newcastle still leading 2-0. Marseille, Atlanta still goalless. Inter leading 2-1 against Kairati Almaty. But Erling Haaland has been withdrawn for Omar Mamouche, player who was literally scoring for fun in the first half of last season at Eintracht Frankfurt. Ran Atnori has also come on for Nico O'Reilly. Lodri is in the stands watching. What phone is that? Is he holding? Is that a Samsung? Don't think so. It didn't look like an iPhone. Not much has changed, so you're not missing out on much. I don't know why my Barcelona feed keeps literally winding itself. Uh-oh. Oh, clearly gets the ball. Thought Nick Pope had committed a halwa. Clean Trippier floated in the ball for Dunban, and then Jolinton scored off Harvey Barnes' assist. Uh-oh. Beautiful run. Bernardo Silva attempts the cutback, doesn't get it right. We're into added time already, and Manchester City have scored to make it 4-1. It's 4-1 City. They've put the game to bed, and there's no coming back from this one. Ryan Checky runs to his left and then onto his weaker foot, the right, puts it in the bottom corner. Beautiful, beautiful call. It's one of those players that I had to defend against. Too much space accorded to him. They signed him from Olympic Lyon this summer prior to the FIFA Club World Cup, and I think he's done okay. He's done okay. Newcastle. Oh, Atalanta have a goal. Looks like this one will stand by Smadzik. Looks like that one will stand. 1-0 Atlanta against Olympic Marseille. Barcelona have yet to find a breakthrough against Club Brugge. So it's 3-3. We are deep into stoppage time for majority of these games. Ernesto Valverde disappointed with his team. They can hardly find the breakthrough. They can hardly find a goal. Oh. Hope our audio is still okay. I really hope so. Something I just noticed. Literally 1 hour and 37 minutes into the broadcast, and that's when I'm noticing it, and I'm thinking, wow, that's an honest mistake. It's finished here for Manchester City 4, Borussia Dortmund 1. Ryan Cherki, Brad Erling Haaland, and a brace from Phil Foden were enough to see Man City close to victory, with Anton scoring what turned out to be a mere consolation for the visitors. Looks like Atalanta are going to see it through, as well as Inter Milan. Inter Milan have conceded their first goal in the tournament against Kairati Almaty. Then Benfica on the verge of their fourth consecutive loss in the tournament. Very, very poor season. Galatasaray 3-0 up against Ajax. Looks like that one is also on the verge of completion. Yeah, Inter's finished 2-1. Newcastle finished 2-0. Yep, just waiting on all these other games to end, to be wrapped up, and then we'll call it a night in as far as this particular broadcast is concerned. Otherwise, you've been a very, very beautiful audience on the night. But let's see. What's the hang on for that Barcelona game? And then the Atlanta game. Some people are really, really sweating plasma. It's only the Barcelona game that is yet to finish, but Ajax beaten, Benfica beaten, so was Olympique Marseille. Let's see. We're into the 8th minute of stoppage time of that game. We are yet to see the final whistle. What's happening? Finally, it's also finished 3-3 between Club Brugge and Barcelona. So thank you so much, LFC. Thank you so much, Basha. Thank you so much, Sarkots, for being part of tonight's broadcast and every single one of you that managed to chip in. It's been a pleasure doing this with you. Let's review all the action or some of that action tomorrow morning. Otherwise, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry, I have to depart because I need a shower. It's all good, LFC. You've been a wonderful member of the audience tonight. So, bye-bye. Have a blessed night. See you tomorrow.